Hey everybody, my name is Ed. Okay, today we have a trade review, and it's going to be Jason Aaron and Jason Latour, Southern Bastards. This first volume, There Was a Man. Cheers. Oh, sorry, didn't give you a good shot. Foster's again. Cheers. In honor of today's pick, I'm listening to the second album by the Black Crowes in the background. Um, Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. Oh. Anyway, the premise of the comic is there's this older guy. He's been away from his hometown for a long, long time. His father died some years ago, but we learn through flashbacks he's been gone even before that. And he comes back because his uncle was living in his dad's old house, but now his uncle's moved to a nursing home. So the guy comes back to kind of, pack things up and get his affairs in order and whatnot. And while he's in town, he notices there's lots of shady things going on. There's a level of corruption that he's really not comfortable with. Some people he knows ends up getting hurt. Maybe the local is involved. Maybe the football coach is involved. And while he doesn't really want to be there, he also feels he can't just walk away and not do anything. The bad guys have everybody in the town pretty much in a constant state of fear. But our hero decides that he's going to make a stand by himself if he has to, even if nobody else can. He figures this is what he's got to do as a man. It actually almost kind of reminds me of this old movie franchise that was out in the mid late '70s, the Walking Talls movies, and I believe they actually did a Walking Tall movie in the early, or not movie, television series in the early '80s. But basically, it was about this guy who was the sheriff, and his whole little town was corrupt, but he was going to restore order, and he went around putting people in check with a baseball bat. I think it was like loosely inspired by a real story, but anyway, like I said, it reminds me of that story just because, as you can see, somebody's got a big stick here. He's about to hand out some justice, small town corruption, stuff like that. I don't think Jason Aaron goes too far into stereotypes. You do get a sense of, like I said, how things are in small towns, the people, the environment here, sports, football, barbecue, and all this sort of thing. It's very much a rural area. You see people kind of maybe the leisurely pace that people kind of live their lives in. Um, so, so I think he does a good job of portraying that, as well as giving us characters that are again interesting, kind of quirky, not going too far into the, like I said, stereotypes and things like that. The art is pretty decent too by Jason LaCour. Stylistic, just this side of, I really wouldn't call it cartoony, but there is a lot of exaggeration. But I think he has a good sense of composition, and like I said, the art and the figures and the faces and everything, they're exaggerated, but they're also grounded enough, or I guess that's what I want to say, grounded enough that you take it seriously when threats and whatnot occur. So, so yeah. Okay, so So this is the first trade. The second one is out right now, and I think the third one probably comes out this fall. I think they do a really good job of setting the scene, setting up the story, establishing the characters, and having a suspenseful and kind of a layered story. It's a pretty simple story, but you do get involved with there's flashbacks, so we learn a little bit more about the main character. We see his relationship with his dad, with the townspeople, and it's all done at kind of like I said, kind of a leisurely pace. But it works, or at least it works for me. I mean, I'm really looking forward to reading the next trade, and it ends on a pretty interesting cliffhanger as well. It's kind of funny, but in relationship to a completely different issue, Jason Latour. Well, actually, what it was is one of the very many little controversies that show up in comics that are here for a week and are gone the next week. Jason Latour put in his 2 cents, and then somebody accused him of trying to be politically correct. And he's like, yeah, right. Like, I'm worried about being politically correct, here doing this redneck murder book. So I thought that was kind of funny. anyway, I didn't want to give too much away, but so this review is going to be pretty short. But yeah, interesting setup, interesting plot, interesting characters, interesting environment anyway, and I would highly recommend it. And if for no other reason, you also have recipes for fried apple pies. Think you're gonna get something like that out of a comic book published by Marvel Comics? So anyway, there you are. Thank you very much, and you guys have a good day.